Rhapsody v. The Land of Promise, the Conquest and the Celebration. The hour had come. That generation born in the desert, shaped by trial and fire, was ready to cross the threshold of the promise. Before the majestic Jordan, the waters stopped as they had done at the Red Sea, and the people crossed on dry ground. They were no longer fugitive slaves, but heirs of the kingdom. 12 stones, erected in the dry riverbed, sealed the moment as an eternal memorial, so that you never forget. But the promised land would not be given without a battle. Jericho, with its imposing walls, seemed impregnable. However, victory would not come by the edge of the sword, but by silent obedience and the power of heaven. For 7 days they marched around the city, and at the final sound of the trumpets, the walls fell before the invisible strength of the Most High. Once they arrived at Shechem, the people divided between 2 mountains, Ebal and Gerizim. From one, the blessings that accompany faithfulness resounded, from the other, the curses that follow transgression. It was the voice of the kingdom reminding them that the inheritance is not preserved by force, but by obedience. The Most High sought not soulless warriors, but surrendered hearts. However, shadows do not always arrive with a roar. Sometimes they are clothed in humility. This is what happened when the Gibeonites, with worn-out clothes and moldy bread, deceived Israel. Joshua, without consulting the Most High, made a pact with them. Although he honored his word, he learned that even peace without prayer can be a trap. Satan, master of deceit, had found another crack. New victories arrived, and with them their territory. The land was divided according to the divine word, and each tribe received its portion. Amidst the malignant whisper, not everyone took full possession. Some allowed the Canaanites to remain, tolerating the profane and sowing the seed of future affliction. The conflict no longer struck from without, it began to sprout from within. As his end approached, Joshua gathered the nation, and in a speech marked by the gravity of truth and the tenderness of a father, these words resounded powerfully. "Choose for yourselves today whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Most High." It was not just land that had been delivered, but a legacy of faithfulness, and that inheritance had to be protected with daily obedience. Amidst the settlement, the Most High did not forget the needy. He instituted tithes and offerings to preserve the sanctuary's service and ensure social justice. Widows, orphans, and foreigners were not left behind. They were part of the kingdom. Their economy was not founded on accumulation, but on equity. Each one was to be cared for as an heir of the same promise, and to strengthen collective memory, he established the sacred festivals, 3 annual gatherings where the people met their king. Each celebration pointed to the redemptive past, the consecrated present, and the glorious future. They were not just rituals, they were anchors of time that reminded them that everything came from him and everything returned to him. The people settled. Tents were replaced by homes, but as order flourished, so too did the shadows. They no longer arose from Egypt or from enemy cities. They sprang from the heart, where forgetfulness began to cloud faithfulness. The Most High had given land, law, altar, and leader, but the true inheritance was not measured in hectares or conquests, but in the daily choice, to remember or to forget, to obey or to rebel. The trumpets of war had fallen silent, but the conflict remained alive. The kingdom of light had taken root in the earth, and the darkness would not rest. The prince had not yet come, and the end was not yet the end.